Super juicy meatballs made with extra lean ground beef. Let's go. I will start with adding 100 grams of buttermilk into a container. Buttermilk has only 1% fat, but will add moisture and also a nice tang to the finished meatballs. Into the buttermilk I will add a package or 9 grams of dry gelatin and stir it in. This is by far the most important ingredient when it comes down to juicy meatballs. It will replicate this mouthful feeling that we get when eating long braised meat. Now, in a separate bowl, I will add 200 grams of 5% fat ground beef. This has around 250 calories. You can also use the regular 80-20, but then the calories will double, but you will get even better meatballs. Then I will add 50 grams of egg white that will help binding everything. I will skip on the yolk because in my experience it doesn't add too much besides calories. For spices, I will start with 10 to 15 cranks of black pepper, a generous amount of salt, and when I'm super lazy I would add 1 to 2 teaspoons each of garlic and onion powder. But if you want the best tasting meatballs, I would absolutely recommend chopping up 1 small onion into very small pieces. I will first cut a couple of times orbital, turn, and then dice this again super fine from root to stem. Then I will give 2 cloves of garlic a smash with my knife so they peel easier, and either chop this as well or prepare a garlic press. This is in my opinion the better way to add garlic into meatballs so you don't bite into big chunks of garlic that some people don't like. Now we'll take 1 slice of sandwich bread. This has 60 calories. First I will remove the crust and then I will chop this as well into very small pieces. You can also use the same amount of breadcrumbs if you want. It will not make a dramatic difference. Important is that you use some kind of bread that not only will help retaining moisture and bind the meat, but will also make the meatballs more tender. The last thing to prepare is a bunch of parsley that again I will chop up into very small pieces. So now everything goes into the bowl with the meat. I will also press my garlic in, and then I will add the buttermilk with the gelatin that I prepared earlier. Now make sure that your hands are clean, and in the bowl they go. I will mix this now for around a minute until everything is nicely combined, and I will get 1 big meatball. Here's a simple trick to check the levels of seasoning of the meat before you actually cook this. I will take a microwave safe container and then I will pull a little bit of meat from the big ball, and this now gets into the microwave at high heat for 10 to 15 seconds. Now you can try this and add salt or pepper, and you don't have to wait until everything is done, perhaps getting completely under-seasoned meatballs. This is seasoned pretty well, so now we'll take a small oven safe container, spray some oil inside, and then I will start to form meatballs that have roughly the size of a tennis ball. With this size, I will get 6 to 7 meatballs out of this recipe. You can also make them smaller if you want, just keep in mind that the cooking time is then reduced. So 6 meatballs are ready, and they get now into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit for 15 to 18 minutes. This is how they look like after 17 minutes in my oven. They should not reach a much higher temperature than 70 degrees Celsius or 160 Fahrenheit, or they can dry out. Now they are basically ready to eat right now, but if you want the ultimate experience, I would recommend to make this extra last step. I will preheat a pan on high heat, add a touch of oil, and then I will fry all meatballs to develop a nice crust on the outside, maybe for 30 to 45 seconds. So this is basically a reverse sear, but instead of steak, we do meatballs. This crust actually has tons of additional flavor that I personally like a lot. So the entire recipe comes in with 392 calories, 13 grams of carbs, 9 grams of fat, and 57 grams of protein. This meatballs just taste crazy with these dips that I show you in this video, and see you in the next one.